The Banshee opener was brutal. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that came into that went into that game, and yeah, the opener was brutal as well. That was 12 worker kills in that first Banshee, if you recall. But here we go. We're getting into our next series, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkion, and we have our blue Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. Living in the land of Denmark, it is MaxPax. We go. Shout out to all my big pappies out there. Oh. Shout out. Hello, Marblite. Hello. Tal como estás? Hello, the Indariel as well. Hope you're all doing well. And yeah, again, it's just exciting to see ByuN be a part of this tournament. Just to reiterate, if you weren't here earlier, ByuN is in Canada at the moment. He's been in Canada for the past couple of weeks. I think for the past like 2 weeks or like week and a half. Staying over at the Shopify HQ with the rest of the Shopify players, with the rest of the rebels, if you will, in preparation for DreamHack Dallas. And that means that he can actually play in ESL Open Cup Europe. It's a rare thing, a very rare thing. As once again we saw this every game in the last series, Rax Expand. Single gas opener here out of ByuN. We're going for a more economic build. It's so refreshing. Like over the past week, we've seen nothing but double gas openers. Like even in Maru's Best of 7 versus Hero, we rarely saw an economic build. It was always just double gas, doubling down, even at times going in towards mech. Not from ByuN. No fear. No fear, Bab. As for now, just Rax Expand into our factory. To see MaxPax chilling back at home. Likewise, know that Max was known for a long time for his 4-gate blink. It was very meta and very brutal. This was like, what, 2 seasons ago at this point? But MaxPax doesn't just have to rely on blink, of course. We've seen him go for Robo or Stargate openers plenty of times. It is a little more varied than that. A little more flexible. As I say that, though, it is going to be a Twilight Council opener. Okay. Is it going to be Twilight Council to blink? Whether it's 2, 3, or 4 gateways, we're here to find out, as the Reaper does sneak in. Does slip behind the mineral line, and we are going to get a probe. Or are we? Deptle's lying in wait. Reaper goes for the pass, does get one worker. Shot goes off, and the Reaper will barely escape. Will get away. But we didn't get into the main. Sure, we got a probe, but we have not scattered the main base. We are still in the dark as to whether this is a Stargate or a Twilight Council. We can see the blinkers on the horizon, and we are still waiting to see how hard we commit to this, how many gateways we throw down. Back at home, mine shot goes off, taken down. Ooh, an Adept, not bad. Adept does fall. Interesting, working towards an early mine drop here. Okay. It's going to be Mines and Marines. This is an opener that Maru and ByuN have been very fond of. I mean, I feel like usually they go with 1 Widow Mine, though. Not with 2. But if we move out with Marines, then it can be to focus down some workers and get economic damage done. Otherwise, it could just be a more old-school mine drop. Okay. I'm ready for it. This is an opener that it's really fallen out of fashion. For those that are maybe unaware, this latest patch that we're playing on did nerf the Widow Mines. And it didn't kill mine drop openers in this matchup, but we rarely see them nowadays. Like they used to be meta, they used to be the go-to opener in TVP, and nowadays you see it like maybe once a tournament sort of thing. But some of the Korean Terrans, they like to sprinkle it in. Just sprinkle it in every now and then. Widow Mines towards the main. And with this, we're going to get a full scout of the main base. We get eyes on the Twilight Council and the research. Nice split there from MaxPax, but ByuN will save both of the Widow Mines. Okay. Nicely done here by ByuN. He can always dive in and go for another mine drop. Threaten that mineral line once again. Reaper comes in from the natural. And what's important here is that we just scouted the entire base. We scouted both the natural and the main. We confirmed the gateways. We see that it is 3-gate blink. Widowmines, they come back in, they drop, they burrow, and ooh, one Widowmine shot will go off. Up, up. Where's it gonna be? Getting one probe. One probe goes down. Back at home, ByuN is getting ready with his tanks, preparing for the Stalker aggression that did the scout. Speaking of, here it is. Warping in 3 Stalkers at a time. ByuN does have a bunker on the low ground, no bunker in the main, but he does have Marines. They're somewhat in position. We dive in. Tank volley goes off. But we can threaten that tech lab. Tech lab does go down. A stim should be safe. Yeah. Stim is safe. We deny another add-on. Forcing back the production. And MaxPax going for another warp in. Now, ByuN is on 2 tanks. He's got 1 tank in the main, 1 tank in the natural. Is late to siege. Okay, we're sieging up a little bit further back. We're okay. Bunker goes down. Repairs not able to keep it alive. But with this tank, we should be able to hold on. Another tank, sorry, another bunker gets thrown down. Auto turret in the main, gets 2 probes. MaxPax splitting up his forces. Does deny the bunker. Head into the main base. SCVs are going down. The tank is within range. Very nice positioning, actually. Covering the add-ons and the mineral line as well. But we still get 4 SCVs. Observer is spotted. And again, MaxPax is macroing behind this. He's not all in. Remember, it was only 3 gates, which gives you map control, but typically doesn't allow you to kill the opponents. I say typically because MaxPax has killed people with 3-gate blink before. It's crazy. It's it's impressive. I think I remember the other day that someone said, like, MaxPax plays 3-gate blink like people play 4-gate blink. And it's like, you're not wrong. Not wrong at all. As back at home, he's going for, he's fully saturating his third, working towards a bay, gateway explosion. Working towards eventually charging Colossus production. ByuN is going to be without though. So far, good blinks. We don't bleed out any Stalkers. Looking at the Unisol stat, we have yet to lose a single Stalker so far. Blinks have been on point. Observer is spotted. As ByuN moves out, Prism is going to be moving in. ByuN has to be careful. Warping towards the main base. Marines are in position. ByuN lying in wait. Ooh, and finally a couple of Stalkers go down. MaxPax, sorry, ByuN laying a trap. MaxPax does walk into it. Ooh, and now ByuN can expand. Back at home, MaxPax getting into his Colossus. First one is on the way. ByuN trying to catch out these Stalkers. We do get one. MaxPax late to react. Second Stalker goes down. Nice pick offs here by ByuN. Third Stalker as well. Very efficient trades. Oh, going for the medevac. ByuN does pull it back. Very nice boost. Now as ByuN is active on the map, here comes that Zealot drop towards the third base, not into the main. SCVs are going down. And we save every single Zealot. Very nice drop from MaxPax. You got 3 SCVs, you got a Mule. Pulling back home, Dark Shrine on the way. DTs can do a surprising amount of damage here in TVP. Sniping bases, going for mineral lines, slipping into the main. There is potential, as it looks like both players are slowing down a little bit here. We're calming things down. MaxPax getting his 4th up and running. ByuN throwing down his own 4th CC. Ghost production has commenced. The Vikings are on the way as well. MaxPax still working on his Colossus count. He's only on 1, soon to be 2. Second robo, we should be building up towards disruptors. I know for a while, MaxPax, he was playing around a lot with Colossus into Mass Immortal instead. I know that was something that MaxPax was trying out, but this was like a couple of months ago. but I don't think he quite settled on it. Should be Disruptor thereafter. I know, I remember Trigger was very fond of it as well. This was back in the Gressvan map pool. Or like 2 seasons ago. ByuN does pull back Colossus, bullying him back home. Marauders trading well. Shaving off those shields as the Prism does slip back into the main. And Prism goes down to the Vikings. Very nice SimCity here from ByuN. Cleans up the Zealots. Ooh, they do next to nothing in the main. Very nice trade from the Terran player, and ByuN does take a supply lead. Is that a 3rd Robo? It is. A triple Robo production. Let's go. Yo, we heard you like Disruptors. So we put Disruptors on your Disruptors. I mean, we're getting there. Nice EMP. MaxPax pulling back. Again, as MaxPax bleeds out a Gateway Army, he's going to be replacing them with Mass Disruptor. Cells do slip into the natural. Getting a couple of SCVs dragging ByuN out of position, and we're going for the base. Not much saturation here, so we don't get any SCVs. The base does take a lot of damage, though. But should survive. It does catch fire. It does get quite low. Yeah, Vikings to get some free shots in. Tank siege up. Zealots from behind. I get a handful of SCVs. And can we get the tanks? Yeah, the tanks are exposed. 1, 2, 3 of them go down. No support. ByuN is getting pulled apart. Nothing big, but does bleed out 6 SCVs to the Zealots. Bleeds out 3 tanks. This position suddenly less fortified. And MaxPax still deny the 4th. Have those Disruptors. Never goes up. Good target firing, but the other not quite connecting either. Reinforcements have arrived. Colossus finally going to be going down. And ByuN will force MaxPax back. MaxPax back. Guess the Colossus. Oh, MaxPax overextending. Yeah, he stuck around a little bit too long here. Does bleed out a lot of high-tech units. But what I will say, thankfully for MaxPax, he has triple Robo. He can reproduce like 2 Disruptors and a Colossus at a time, which is pretty insane. It does help that he has a rich resting gas geyser, has a solid economy, 89 workers. Nova goes off, big connection. Ooh, once again. And ByuN a little bit late to dive, a little bit late to snipe. And ByuN plummets in supply, down 40. I mean, those are some pretty intense Novas. Now we're coming in for a counterattack. We have Zealots, we have DTs. Pulling in from the other end. And ByuN just doesn't have the numbers. Not anymore. Planetary goes down. Ooh, just barely to those Novas. And GG gets called. It's just too much. And MaxPax will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. A pretty back and forth game there between MaxPax and ByuN. It felt like, for the most part though, MaxPax was in the driver's seat. For almost the entire game, MaxPax was in the face of ByuN, pressuring his main, his 3rd, his 4th, even the natural. And ByuN could never move out. He could never push past the halfway point and even threaten the bases of MaxPax. There was a moment or two where MaxPax did overextend, and those were brutal moments, but MaxPax was on 89 workers. He was on 89 probes, and on a rich resting gas geyser as well. He was able to take those losses and go with it, sustain it. It was terrifying, the macro of MaxPax behind that army, and in the end, ByuN was broken under the weight of that. GG, MaxPax takes the lead. We're getting ready for game number 2. Catching up in the chat. You also recast NA, or is it just Europe today? Both. We're going to be casting Europe first. We're here in the semifinals, followed by the finals, and then we're going to be diving into the Americas replay cast as well. So both, Pappy, both. I prefer Hellion drop to mines. I mean, that's a little bit more committed, but I can see that. We have seen games ended with Hellion drops before, especially if probes line up. It's brutal. Do mines do less damage now? Their radius is smaller. Their overall splash damage radius, I should say, the damage that the mine does is lessened depending on how far away you are from the center of that mine shot. So yes is the answer. Yeah. It does do less damage now. It does do less splash damage. Catching up. Oh, hello, my sauce. Oh, calm down, Bobby. Calm down. Diving into our next game. On top of that, another build that was killed is that now you need drilling claws for widow mines to require detection. Before it was the armory. If you remember, there used to be some TVP builds where you would rush into the armory, you'd commit into a heavy mine drop, and if your opponent, if the Protoss player didn't have detection, the game just ends. The game just ends because the mines go off, and then they reset, and they go off again, and you just win the game. So that was a build that was killed because now you need drilling claws, which requires a tech lab, requires the upgrade. It's a bigger investment, and it's not really viable. It's not really viable to rush into it, I should say. But here we go, we're diving into our next game and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our red Protoss player from the land of Denmark representing Storm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. The mine shot radius reduction is not noticeable most of the time. Maybe it's because we cast a lot here, but it has been noticeable in mainly when it comes to the mineral line. If a mine shot goes off and if a player doesn't react, it actually doesn't get that much damage done. If they stack, of course, it's still brutal, but we have noticed that it has been impacting like mine drop effectiveness. Which is the reason why mine drop openers aren't common anymore. I mentioned it last game. We did see a mine drop opener, but it's very rare nowadays in TVP, and that is the big reason for it, from my understanding. You don't notice the mine shot reduction in ZBT against Ling Bane. Like, Ling Bane still explodes when mine shots go up, so it is less noticeable there for sure, but that's also because Ling Bane stacks a lot more as opposed to mining workers. That's what I will say. So there are some instances where you notice it less, or others where you notice it more. As we are entering, once again, another economic opener here by ByuN. It is going to be a Rax Expand. He's gone for this every single TVP so far in this tournament against both Skilless and MaxPax. And we'll see how MaxPax opens up this time. As a reminder, it did open up 3-gate Blink in Game 1. We'll see what happens here in Game 2. They also make the target laser way more obvious. True, yes, that's another change that they made. So it is now easier to split. I do appreciate that. I was always an advocate of, oh, it's 3cc. Okay, it looks like another 3cc 3 racks here out of ByuN. So we're still waiting for that third racks. But I'm always an advocate for creating more opportunity for counter micro. I do like that a lot. So now that it's more noticeable, now there's more counterplay from the opposing party, whether it's a Zerg player, a Terran, or a Protoss. Now it's easier to, I should say, now you can have the opportunity to micro more against it, which I'm always appreciative of. And there's that third rack. So 3cc 3 racks. We saw this, if you remember, Game 1 against Skilless. And at the time we mentioned how this is a build that has been quite popular as of late, has been quite trendy, is very macro-oriented or very greedy, rushing into a third CC, and the 3x follow-up does hit a very strong stim timing. Now, if you remember, against Skilless did scout this ahead of time, and he forced ByuN to delay his push, and ByuN waited for his medevacs before he moved out. And then he caught Skilless overextending and caught Colossus, and I mean, that was side Delta. We'll see how MaxPax is able to piece this together. Now MaxPax threatening those shades. Back at home, opening Blink. We have our 1 gateway in the main base. We have our 2 gates set up at the natural, so it's going to be 3 gate Blink. A very safe opener here by MaxPax. Will allow him to gain map control as well. And against 3 gate Blink, I think MaxPax should be okay here, as the goal is to slow down this bio army, is to chip away at it, make sure by the time it gets across the map, it's that much less of a threat. As the Stalkers are amassing. Stalkers on the way. Laser also helps Terra know if they should retarget. True. Does go both ways. So do see MaxPax going to be applying a lot of pressure. Now, this is going to be a difficult defense for ByuN. I mentioned before that this build that ByuN's going for can be punished quite hard by 4-gate Blink. This isn't quite 4-gate Blink, but we mentioned before that MaxPax going 3-gate Blink may as well be 4 gateways, as he does catch the first bunker. Oh! Repair is going to be coming in just in time, and the bunker will stand strong. Nice blinks out of MaxPax. Does save all of his Stalkers. Bleeds out the Adepts. Takes down 2 SCVs. MaxPax still threatening a dive. Now again, because of ByuN's build of choice, there are no tanks to defend. There's no bunker in the main base either, but we, I believe, already have Stim. Yes, Stim is already done, so MaxPax has to be very careful with how aggressively he blinks. Stim has completed. Server does fall. ByuN pre-pulling the boys. And reading MaxPax quite well, is here for the repairs. Does hold. And behind this, MaxPax not just expanding, we're going for a Dark Shrine. Okay. Dark Shrine is on the way. Drop into the main. And again, because of how aggressive MaxPax is, he's not giving ByuN the opportunity to move out. Not giving him the opportunity of hitting his timing. Like, all these upgrades are finishing and ByuN is still stuck at home. Marine's going to be going down. And again, this is why this build from ByuN can sometimes struggle against, like, Stalker aggression like this, or Blink Stalker aggression like this. As the strength of this build is to move out and be aggressive, and we just can't. We're stuck, we're contained. Back at home, MaxPax freely taking a bay. Getting into his robotics bay. Gateway explosion. Yeah, it's looking pretty behind this. Now, ByuN will eventually expand, and there we go. The base is on the way. ByuN should break out of this. Does catch a Stalker. Oh! Gets a second as well. And even a 3rd Stalker. Nice catcher by ByuN. Getting a 4th Stalker towards the end. And back at home, MaxPax is getting ready. We have a shield battery, we have an overcharge. Immortals are on the way. Does ByuN commit? But now it's just expanding. MaxPax did get eyes on the reinforcements. So he should be getting ready. 2nd Robo's on the way as well. MaxPax being a little bit greedy here. But here comes that Zealot drop. Zealots into the main and natural. They don't get that much done, but they force ByuN to stay at home. They force him to react. 7 SCVs do go down. So we even have the DT. We had the DTs mixed in as well. They're getting 5 SCV kills. Once again, ByuN is stuck at home. MaxPax does confirm this. Goes down to 4, getting into double Colossus production. There is a double drop set up here at the natural. There is potential for damage, but we do have some forces back at him to defend as well. MaxPax backs off. Once again, goes in with the Zealots. Ooh, SCVs are going down once again. Here comes that double drop. Out of the Colossus, they come out just in time. Yeah, the shield battery and the cannon, they hold on. And this drop does nothing. And back at home, we get 10 SCV kills. 11, 12 SCVs go down. Ay, ay, ay. The drop killed a pylon and threatened another. Didn't get many workers. And MaxPax, he's gone away with a lot. He's gone away with quite a lot here. His economy is insane. He's on 70 workers compared to the 56 of ByuN. We're on double robot production, so we're soon going to hit a critical mass of Colossus with 4. And by the time we hit 4 Colossus, then we can push. As a reminder as well, MaxPax, a big reason why he's been able to afford all this, he has been skipping warp-ins. He has been skipping warp-ins here and there to, get more bases, get more tech. And ByuN has been stuck at home. Busy dealing with zealots, sure, that's true, but MaxPax is about to hit his stride. What do we have to defend? Now, we have some Vikings amassing, we have Ghosts on the way as well. We do have a defensive setup here. Observer does spot the movement. Let me catch the Widow Mines. That is a tell. The Observer is somewhere. I'm sure ByuN is looking for it. Waiting for a drop. Is spotted. MaxPax does respond. Okay, we unload. Calm down. Be unloading. MaxPax taking more bases. Disruptors are on the way. Yeah, ByuN is looking for the Observer. Doesn't find it. I was about to say the obvious position is this pillar. This pillar it's so commonly used, but no, it's a little bit further back instead. Does avoid the scan. And that's an army. Oh my god. We have 4 Colossus, we have more Disruptors amassing. MaxPax is now maxed out. Once again, we go for another scan. Oh, that's unfortunate. ByuN still looking for that Observer. And as he moves out, MaxPax, he does spot the army. MaxPax getting ready. Sees the rotation. Base is being taken. MaxPax rotating with the army, going for a Zealot run by. And ByuN is about to max out as well. He's almost there. Army is spotted. And really, this is a distraction. Nova goes off, zones him away. They'll say bust into the natural base. Ghosts are going down. Those are brutal losses. 2 Ghosts are picked off, and we're going for the base. We're going for the CC. The Disruptors are left on their own. Up! MaxPax! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Disruptors going down. A very nice pick up here by ByuN. MaxPax forced to recall back home. But MaxPax is also making 3 Disruptors at a time. We gotta go. we gotta send it, Papi. Send it. As ByuN is on a bit of a timer, MaxPax is vulnerable. Now is our moment. Now is our time. Scans, sees a Colossus. Zealot Ramais, they keep coming in. And workers are going down. We have DTs in the mix as well. ByuN has to commit, but he's taking a little bit too long. Disruptors are popping out. And pushing into Disruptors is not easy. So the EMP, 1 Colossus goes down. Army has to back up. Overcharge is popped. Ooh, big connection. Second over connects, the other grazes the army. We're cleaning up the harassment across the map. We got 11 SCV kills. We killed the CC earlier as well. ByuN's all in. He has no economy. He's down to 45 workers. Now 47. MaxPax is maxed out. ByuN pushing forward. I mean, ByuN does have the army supply lead. But it's going to be all or nothing. ByuN does not have a bank. MaxPax does. Do you get an EMP? Nova grazes the army. Oh! Just zoning ByuN back. These are all good trades for MaxPax. As the Nova does connect! Juicy connection there on the Marauders. ByuN bleeding out a bit too much. He will get 1 Colossus. barely not. Colossus does get the hell out of here. How many disruptors do we have? 8! Oh my god. 8 disruptors from MaxPax. I mean, we've hit a point where we have perpetual novas. We can just keep sending out one nova at a time. Force ByuN back. Speaking of, there's the first nova. We get a decent split, but the others, oh, massive connections. And that's going to be all that ByuN had left. The novas, they're getting out of control. The balls are too big. They're too much. We clean up these Colossus at least. We can see ByuN barely has an army. GG gets called. MaxPax will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations here to MaxPax as it does take it in the end. ByuN had some really rough openers there, especially here in game 2, to open up 3 CC, 3 racks, and to be punished so hard. We spoke about it at the time, but the 3-gate blink opener of MaxPax was ideal against that. He didn't know what he was up against, but MaxPax actually went 3-gate blink every game, both in game 1 and in game 2. And I wouldn't say it was a hard counter to ByuN in game 2, but it was still a little bit more ideal for MaxPax, and he just contained ByuN. ByuN, he missed his timing, he played out too many Marines, he was stuck at home. The whole purpose of that build is to be active, and he just couldn't be. Throughout almost the entire game, we saw some drop play attempted by ByuN, but MaxPax was there every single time to shut it down. A big part of that as well was MaxPax's vision. It was unfortunate that multiple times we saw ByuN looking for that observer. He was trying to hunt it down, but it was barely out of reach every single time. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. So MaxPax, he just had full vision of the army movements of ByuN at almost all times. So MaxPax was looking quite comfortable there. And GG. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, we have our grand finals. We're going to be getting ready here for Clem versus MaxPax. Oh boy, in a best of 5. You should be familiar with this, especially if you're regularly tuning into ESL Open Cup Europe. You should be familiar with Clem and MaxPax. They face off almost every single week, almost without fail. They're the 2 regular competitors in ESL Open Cup Europe. 3-gate blink is just a safe opener. It is very safe. Very safe opener. 100%. I mean, it's a safe opener, but in the hands of MaxPax, that safe opener can be quite aggressive. Like, it's impressive, even how much damage you can get done with that opener as well. Catching up. Just curious, what does Terran do against Promanovas? Libs, if you're talking about the game state where you are on like 8 to 12 disruptors, I think 12 is usually like the most we would ever get up to. It is to work up towards Liberators. Ideally, you want to be going... So, when it comes to your Terran composition, you're going Bio into Ghost into Viking. As the Colossus count gets a little bit lower, as it's becoming a little bit more manageable, as the disruptor count is going up, then usually you do want to be working towards range and Liberators and incorporating that instead. I say usually because that isn't always the case. Like, there are definitely ways you can play out this style from ByuN. For example, we saw him catch all the disruptors at one point. That was like a big moment for him. So you can like try to outposition your opponent in that way, but it's quite difficult to make work. It's not easy. Not easy, man. But also, like, stylistically, ByuN is a little bit unique. Unlike some of these other Terran players like Pure and Clem and even Maru, ByuN does stay on Bio a lot longer. He does delay his Liberator transition a lot longer as well. That is intentional. I'm pretty sure that's just how ByuN likes to play. He likes to play very drop heavy and very bio-focused and very active on the map. He usually doesn't, like, go into Liberators too soon. That's just a ByuN thing. As we're getting ready for our final series, for the grand finals. The grand finals.